lah, no?
Right.
Sorry lah, it's me lah, no? And then the next step is, hey, can we move forward? Can we go forward? And then the conversation can become better.
Right.
The problem is how many of us will do that? Because the animal instinct is in front of you and saying, don't do that, because you are afraid that you might think bad of me,
Right.
or I'm not capable, or that I'm incompetent, and therefore immediately attack.
Right.
So, yes, I believe it can be done. I give you a very good example. As I speak to you right now, I was in the office from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock today, preparing a table plan. When I say a table plan, seating plan, no?
Right.
Complete plan. No? Me and my personal assistant, Celine, no? Together we were doing it. I finished at 1 something and went home to have a shower and come here. And then I got a call from her. And she was really, said, Venga, I can't take this,
Right.
There's one more person who said he wants to come. We closed it about a week ago, and she was all that, And the person wanted, the person is an old man, 86 years old man. So I calm her down. I say, okay, Celine, it's not your it's not your fault.
Right.
I know the frustration you are in. I said, this is an old man, 86 years old. Okay, let's find a way to resolve that. And when I told her, let's find a way to resolve that, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. And in about 2-3 minutes, she was back to normal again.
Right.
So my belief is that even in situations like that, automatically she, of course, blamed the person. Then I checked. Was this man who was supposed to come, is he to be blamed? The answer is no.
Right.
Actually, he told someone who's going to be in charge on the day, told him already.
Right.
I called him and said, did he tell you? Yeah, he did. Oh, I thought since he was at that level, definitely he would have told so and so. Okay.
Right.
I said, never mind.
So a lot of
problem is resolved.
assumption.
You see, assumption. You see, sometimes we make assumptions, and that assumption makes us do what we do.
Right.
And to me, this is the second part of it. You see, sometimes we perceive wrongly.
Right.
We perceive that people do this or do that. No? We never examine our own perception.
Right.
I give you a couple of examples of this perception thing. No? When I first came to this place, Radio 24, I met you. Then I met the other young lady.
Najiha.
Najiha. Right? Okay. In this 4 or 5 meeting, my perception has changed considerably about you, about her, and about the whole setup and all like that, But we need to, in order for me to do that, I need to pull out my data and look at, what do I know? What is something new? Constantly see the change. And by that way, we always, will become better.
Right. So you need to constantly have something to reference to.
Yeah.
You need to constantly look at things and weigh them, balance out things, and that will get the balance into your life.
Otherwise, we live with the same old data or the same old information, and we behave in that information. Like example, we were talking about this blame. Most of the time, it's like, I may have an old data about you.
Right.
And I meet you 2 weeks later. And if I have not looked at the old data 2 weeks ago, my perception of you is 2 weeks old.
Right.
But today you are different. I must recognize that very quickly and take my old data and then clear all those things not there and put in the new data. And then I can behave with you much better. I can talk to you much better. I can interact with you much better. That's what we don't do.
Nope.
We live with that old data and then we never change.
Well, we started off getting the topic wrong by saying that people deliberately put the blame on others.
Right.
So we've now come to an understanding that people don't deliberately do it. No. It happens.
Well, yes, it happens.
We're going to move to another area now. Take, for example, we tend to blame the boss for favoritism when they pick someone else for promotion, even just to go out for lunch. We don't realize that we might be the problem. Is that right?
Well, first of all, I think this is
there's always two sides to it.
Okay, office politics. Okay, that's why managers must be very competent.
Right.
Whatever action they do will be viewed by people at different angle. They will look upon this 360 degrees.
Right.
So a manager must be very careful what he does, what he say, how to say it, when to say it, and so on and so forth. Today's managers, majority of them are not well trained or well developed. they themselves have been through the rough road to become a manager because they were very competent in the task they did or the work they did. But they have not been trained how to manage people.
They don't have managerial skills.
They don't have that.
Or people skills, so
exactly.
to speak.
They don't have that. So what happens is you see somebody at that point in time, you recognize the person for what she or he has done and immediately want to reward and say, let's go out to lunch.
Right.
But there were others who have done a lot of work, much more than this particular person. No? How will they perceive me?
Right.
They'll say, why? Wow, I've been here for 2 years. I've done this kind of work for you. I've been that, this. I've done so much. And suddenly this girl or this boy turns up and he does this and there, voila, you're doing it. Huh? You are showing favoritism.
Right.
If that's what happens all the time. Who is to be blamed? Not the person who has actually done the job, but the manager himself. That's why it is important that I as a manager must recognize I shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
What should I be doing then? To recognize people when they are and immediately give them that assurance they've done a good job on the spot,
Right.
And if people have not done well, it is for you to tell them, hey, you have not done it also well. These are the areas in which you need to improve.
Right.
And that's something. Socializing is a very important part of
But what about managers putting the blame on others?
Oh, yes. All the time it happens.
And this is something that happens all
the time. Everywhere.
So how do you find a balance in that? What do you just keep quiet and drop your guns?
Well, the way I would do it, the way we did it during my working life with people is like, okay, we have a Friday session. We call it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Friday session, in which we come out and talk without bar. I mean, what are the things we find can be improved? And some of us will openly say, this behavior of the manager, this or few things that need to change.
Right.
We bring it out in open and we discuss it without losing our temper,
Right.
without being emotional, factually discuss it. And then we will see a change.
Right.
Definitely change. Because sometimes managers also behave because they think what they are doing is right. No one has told them otherwise.
Right.
Employees dare not tell because you can get into trouble. You know that, okay? But in a society like the company that I work with, it's different. Everyone has the right. And because we came in that kind of background, we could not complain, make suggestion how to improve.
Right.
Like for instance, give you one example. My boss, the one I reported to, constantly, last minute thing. Do I blame him for it? At first I did. I say, you know. But then there came, I say, hey, something must be done about this. Because if he continues like that, I won't progress. And he's not going to help. So I sat down with him. I say, I have some suggestion to make.
Right.
You seem to put demands on me on certain things, okay? And at the very last minute, although these data are already available, can we find a way to work together to make this happen?
Right.
Immediately, the boss then said, find a way. Tell me how.
But hold your thoughts. We're going to take a short break for the top 5 news, and we're going to find out about that boss when we come back right here on 812 Live Panama Radio 24. We're currently speaking to Dr. Venga, and we're delving in to, as per usual, time management like we always do on a lovely Sunday evening like this. Jared Ratnam with you. Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us right here on 812 Live. This is Dr. Venga's Time Management Lounge on 812 Live Panama Radio 24.
I educate children. I give them wings.
I am a welfare officer. I give protection to those in need.
I am a soldier, and I defend the country.
Just like them, I give hope. I have pledged to be an organ donor.
Well, some people go the distance to help others. Some are willing to go even further. More and more Malaysians have the courage to give hope. You can too. Register today at agiftoflife.gov.my and please inform your family. This community message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Malaysia.
Welcome back to Dr. Venga's Time Management Lounge right here on 812 Live Panama Radio 24. Today we're talking about putting the blame on others. And do you see yourself doing that? If you're seeing yourself doing that and you're currently listening into this broadcast, you're at the right place. Well, Dr. Wenger, you're talking about a boss and how you came to an amicable solution or cut a deal with him. Now,